Magandang araw po ulit sa ating lahat. I am Carl Vincent Gapasin and I'm a plant pathologist from the National Crop Protection Center, UPLB, under Project Saray, or the Smarter Approaches to Reinvigorate Agriculture as an Industry in the Philippines. So last time, we already talked about the common diseases of rice in the Philippines. So I hope may napulot po tayo kahit papaano dun sa presentation natin last time. So for today's topic naman po, we'll be going to discuss naman po about the common diseases of corn here in the Philippines. So just to give you an overview, we'll be going to talk about the pathogen or the overview of the pathogen or the causal organism. Also the signs and symptoms on how to diagnose and how to identify the disease. And of course, the preventive measures and the disease management of these diseases under corn. We will be talking about the bacterial diseases, bacterial and fungal diseases. So for bacteria, we have this bacterial stalkrot. For fungal diseases, we have downy mildew, leaf blight, sheath blight, corn rust, and gray leaf spot. So later on, we will check kung ano pa yung nadagdag na disease po dito sa presentation. So yun, first one, we have the bacterial disease of corn. We have the bacterial stalk rot caused by the Dickeaceae, or formerly known as the Irregular pathogen. So yung damage na kinokos or na-cause po nitong ating bacterial stalk rot, mapapansin po natin siya from vegetative growing stage ng ating corn plant up to fruiting stage. So andyan ang flowering stage to fruiting stage. So ganun kalawak yung sa growth stage, kung ganun kalawak natin siya makikita depending on the growth stage of the corn plant. So for the signs and symptoms, the affected tissues are soft and mushy. So dito sa part na to, mapapansin po natin na nag-fall down na po yung ating corn plant dahil sa soft and mushy na po yung tissue ng ating corn plant because of the infection of bacterial stalk rot. And also, this bacterial stalk rot emits foul odor o yung mabahong amoy. Mapapansin po natin ito sa pag nasa cornfield po tayo na medyo may makakaiba at mabahong amoy dun sa field natin once infected ng bacterial stalk rot yung ating field. So infected plants usually topple over or may remain standing but exhibit wilted leaves. So katulad po dito sa second picture, makikita natin na yung corn natin or yung corn plant natin ay standing pa rin. Pero yung kanyang leaf or even the whole corn plant ay wilted na at brown na po. So ganon, kung hindi mo natin nakitang nakatumba siya, ito yung magiging itsura niya sa field. So for the management strategies of managing bacterial stalk rot, of course, we can plant resistant varieties. So available na yung resistant varieties against bacterial stalk rot. If we want to check, pwede po tayong pumunta din sa mga agri-supply to check the resistant variety against bacterial stalk rot. Then we have this cultural control or management. First one is let's provide good drainage system or the irrigation system. Kasi itong bacterial stalk rot po natin, maaaring kumapit po ito doon sa kung hindi maayos yung irrigation system natin, kung may flood po yung field natin, maaaring mapunta po yung itong mga bacterial ooze or pwedeng magkaroon ng bacterial ooze doon sa area po. Then we have the improvement of soil condition by cultivation. So from land preparation, dapat maayos na po yung pag-cultivate natin ng lupa to improve the soil. Next is for field sanitation. Once na alam po natin na infected na po yung field natin, na kahit hindi man sa bacterial stalk rot and sa ibang disease din, kailangan maganda tayo ng field sanitation. So si field sanitation, after ng harvest, kailangan siguraduhin po natin wala pong mga plant debris kung saan present yung iba't ibang sakit po na alam natin na nakita natin dun sa field po natin. Next is the balanced fertilizer application. So excessive nitrogen po in relation with potassium favors daw po yung development ng bacterial stalk rot natin. So iwasan natin yung paglalagay ng madaming nitrogen paglagay ng excess fertilizer dun sa ating field or sa ating cornfield kung hindi naman na po kailangan. Then, ayun, ulitin ko po, pwede po natin, kung hindi po tayo sure kung anong amount po ng fertilizer yung i-apply po natin sa field, maaari po tayong kumuha ng soil sample sa ating field, then ipatest po natin sa Regional Soils Laboratory around the Philippines po to, meron tayong Regional Soils Laboratory to check po kung ano yung available nutrients na meron sa lupa natin. Then, magre-recommend po sila kung ano pong fertilizer or nutrient na lang yung kailangan natin idagdag sa lupa natin. So, ayun po. So, next is avoid close plant spacing on fields previously infected with the disease. So, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, from 4 to 6 inches po yung recommended plant spacing po ng pagtatanim po ng corn plant. So kung napansin na po natin na may infection po kahit hindi po bacterial stalkrot or may ibang disease na, susundin po natin yung pagtatanim po ng proper plant spacing para maiwasan po yung sa spread or mabilis na pagkalat po ng kahit anong sakit po sa ating corn. So yun po for bacterial disease. Next, we have these fungal diseases of corn. For fungal diseases of corn, we have first one, we have the downy mildew caused by Sclerotia philippinensis. So it is fungi. Yung infection niyo po, mapapansin natin siya from seedling stage po ng ating corn up to flowering stage. So seedling to vegetative growing stage habang lumalaki yung corn plant natin until mag-flowering po yung ating corn. So white or yellow at first based on the entire leaf blade. So white or yellow streaks po yung mapapansin po natin. So dito po, mapapansin niyo po yung white to yellow streaks po. Then chlorotic area streaks or stripe at the base of the lower leaves become more intense in succeeding leaves. So whitish downy growth can be seen on the surface. So ito yung whitish fungal growth po ng ating downy mildew. So yun yung mapapansin po natin. Then yung surface is chlorotic sa umaga. Papansin mo natin yung surface po nito is chlorotic. So yung chlorosis niya po, mawawala po yung greenness niya due to lack of chlorophyll. So yun po yung na-cause no downy mildew or the Sclerotia philippinensis. So for some of the signs, mapapansin po natin na medyo pandak or dwarf po yung mga corn plant na affected po ng downy mildew. So yung ears and tassel naman po ng ating corn plant ay poorly formed. So hindi siya ganun kaganda or hindi siya normal kumpara dun sa dapat niyang ibunga or dapat niyang i-grow. So ito yung fungal growth as a sign po ng downy mildew. For management strategies naman po ng para dito sa downy mildew, first one, planting of resistant varieties. So yun din po, once na bibili po tayo ng seed ng corn, i-check po natin yung variety o yung meron din po tayong hybrid variety na resistant na po against downy mildew. Then also avoid areas prone to flooding. So bakit avoid areas prone to flooding po? Isang dahilan po is para maiwasan po yung spread po or mabilis na pagkalat po ng ganitong sakit. Next is provide adequate drainage. So yun po. Then crop rotation. So sa crop rotation, wag po tayong magtatanim ng wag po muna natin itatanim yung corn for the next cropping season. Also, wag po tayong magtatanim ng mga host plant katulad ng sugarcane, sorghum. So iwasan po natin yun. So yung pagtatanim po na ibang crop ay mas maganda para mapababa po yung inoculum present in the area. So ganoon po kasi pag wala po host plant, yung ating fusel organism, unti-unti po siyang mawawala dun sa field. So, maaari na po tayong bumalik ulit sa pagtatanim ng corn. Next is the leaf blight caused by Bipolaris maydis. So, sa leaf blight po, we have two leaf blight, the southern and northern leaf blight. So, for the signs and symptoms, lesion range from small to large, elongated or oval tan to brown spots. So, ayun po, medyo distinct din po yung damage na nakikita po natin sa kanya. Oval, elongated oval po. Ayun po, elongated oval. Then, sa gitna po, medyo grayish to brown. Then, outer layer po nung damage is brown. Yun po. So under favorable conditions naman po, ito po, itong mga lesions po ito ay kakalat. So kakalat po siya. Once na kumalat po yan, magdidikit-dikit po yan and magpo-form po ng isang malaking lesion, then resulting to complete burning po nung large areas ng ating corn leaf. So for the management strategies for this, for leaf blight of corn, so yun, plant-resistant variety. So napansin niyo po medyo parang paulit-ulit lang po talaga yung mga management strategies natin for some fungal diseases. Iba-iba lang po yung way at iba-iba lang din po yung kung bibili po tayo ng seed, iba-ibang seed, or minsan same po yung resistant variety kung about sa development po ng resistant. Next is avoid areas prone to flooding din po kasi yun po yung nagkakos po ng spread po ng ating diseases. Then provide adequate drainage and use of chemical control. Yun po. So next naman po is the sheath blight of corn caused by the Rhizoctonia solani. So this disease is caused by a soil-borne fungus po, which is the Rhizoctonia solani, which can affect yung corn plant po natin from late whorl to early formation po. Yun po. So intercropping po. So ayun, later will be discussed about the management strategies. So for the signs and symptoms, irregular blotch from leaf blade to leaf sheath then, and pure rust starting from the base upward. So yung damage po na nakakos niya, or yung symptoms, mapansin po natin yung symptoms from the base upward po. Yan, pataas po yung damage niya po. And blotches are yellowish, green, with blush, gray, or straw-colored in center. So distinct brown borders. So meron po siyang distinct brown borders. Kung mapapansin po natin sa field, meron siyang distinct brown border. So yan po si sheath blight. So irregular white turning light to dark brown. Yan, mapapansin niyo po siya, irregular white to dark brown. Hindi po siya yung katulad po kanina ni leaf blight na bilog lang po, oval, elongated oval yung nakikita natin. Siya is irregular po. So sclerotia on the dead areas is the most reliable sign of the disease. So if pupunta po tayo sa cornfield, makakapansin po tayo nung medyo dito sa mga area po yan, nung puti-puti po sa ibabaw po ng ating corn plant na infected po ng sheath blight. So yun po yung sclerosial bodies kung tawagin po, or sclerotia. Siya po yung sign ng sheath blight. So for the management strategies po, again, use of resistant varieties, use of biocontrol agent po. So treated seeds, so trichoderma. So for trichoderma, available din po ito sa Regional Crop Protection Center po natin around the Philippines. So ito po ay libre. So once na binenta po sa atin to sa Regional Crop Protection Center, kung maaaring magsumbong po tayo sa mga kinauukulan dahil libre lang po ito at ito ay serbisyo na hatid po ng Regional Crop Protection Center. So nagpo-provide po sila ng trichoderma. Next is for field sanitation. So sa field sanitation po, dapat talagang ginagawa po to, hindi lang po dito sa specific disease na to, pero kahit saan disease po, once na nakakita po tayo ng infection or hindi normal yung mga nakatanim natin noong nakaraang season. So next one is intercropping. So maaari din natin siya i-intercrop. Intercropping system of corn with legumes, especially with soybean po, is effectively reduce the disease severity and the population of the pathogen in the soil. So ayun po. Next is, if infestation occurs, use of chemical control or the fungicide. So for fungicide, we have the metalasil plus mancozeb. We also this propiconazole and the carbendazim. So ayun po. I-check lang po natin sa mga agri-supply kung mga ganitong chemical po. So then once na gagamit po tayo ng chemical, mahalagang i-check po natin yung proper application dun sa label. Hindi basta mag-apply po tayo dahil may pangit na effect din po yun, not only for our crops but also for our health po. So yun po. Next is the corn rust or the caused by Pusinea polyzora or and Pusinea sorgi. So southern rust looks very similar po to common rust. So may dalawang klase po tayong rust, the southern, and common rust. But several characteristics distinguish po yung dalawa. Yung southern rust pustules are usually confined to upper lip surface. So yung ating southern rust po is nasa upper lip surface lang po. While yung ating common rust naman po ay both upper and lower surface po ng ating corn plant. So mapapansin po natin yung damage na kinukos or mapapansin po natin yung corn rust sa field natin from seedling stage din po until fruiting stage. So ganun po siya kalawak. Kaya mahalagang mabantayan talaga natin yung field natin para i-check talaga if may present ng ganitong disease. Kasi for utmost damage or for the severe damage na na mangyari ay talaga makaka-apekto po siya sa yield or dun sa ani po ng ating corn. So for the signs and symptoms, pustules are raised circular to oval. So ayan po. Kung mapansin niyo po, yan ay sign. Yan po yung sign na binibigay po ng ating corn rust sa ibabaw o sa surface ng ating corn plant. So producing numerous spores which resemble a rusty powder. So kaya siya tinawag na corn rust kasi mukha po siyang rust talaga sa ibabaw ng ating corn. So leaves of susceptible plants dry prematurely and resulting to yield reduction. So ayun po. So for the management strategies po, field monitoring. Number 1 po yan kahit saang disease or kahit wala pong present ng disease, we need to monitor our field. So for monitoring ng field, para ma-check natin if there's a disease development from the start ng crop growth natin, ng ating corn plant. So also plant resistant varieties if available na po sa market yung resistant varieties against corn rust. Also application of chemical control if and only needed. So fungicide application. So apply fungicide if rust is spreading rapidly or likely to spread and may affect our yield. So this is exceeds threshold established by the state extension of our plant pathologies. So once na nakakita po tayo ng ganito sa field, kahit hindi po corn rust or basta nakakita po tayo ng hindi normal dun sa ating corn plant at medyo naapektuhan na po yung almost yung ating almost lahat ng nasa field natin, pwede din tayong kumontak po sa Regional Crop Protection Center para i-check po and i-validate kung talaga bang infected ng certain disease or pest yung ating corn plant or not, kahit hindi po corn plant, basta yung kung ano po yung tanim natin. So we have that kind of services po sa ating government under Department of Agriculture. Then next disease, we have the gray leaf spot of corn caused by Cercospora C. maydis. So mapapansin din po natin yung gray leaf spot from seedling to fruiting stage po ng corn plant. So yun yung growth stages po kung saan ma-observe natin yung infection po na maaring ibigay ni gray leaf spot. So for the signs and symptoms, small spots surrounded by yellow halo which develop into a rectangular lesions. So specific or distinct po kay gray leaf spot yung rectangular lesions. So from the outer, makakita po tayo ng dark brown, medyo light to dark brown yung outer layer niya, and whitish to brownish po yung center. So yun po. Then for the management strategies po of gray leaf spot, syempre for cultural, we have the irrigation system. For the irrigation system naman po, kailangan sikapin natin maayos yung hindi ganun ka-flooded yung area para sa pagtatanim ng corn, which favors the disease development. Then also plant resistant varieties if there's an available resistant variety against gray leaf spot. Also use chemical control against gray leaf spot. Meron na po tayong available or registered na mga fungicide and foliar fungicide against gray leaf spot. So sa sanitary methods po, syempre kailangan sikapin din ulit po natin na yung field po natin ay malinis. So hindi naman po pag sinabing malinis ay yung sobrang linis, pero yung dapat alam po natin na walang present ng mga damo o weeds dun sa gilid-gilid na maaaring pagkapitan po ng ganitong klaseng sakit. At Yun po, once na natapos po yung cropping season, sikapin din po nating alisin yung mga plant debris o yung mga natirang plants sa field kung alam po nating may infection siya ng certain or any kind of disease po. So ayun for gray leaf spot. Next is the corn smut. So for the corn smut, it is caused by Pustilago midis. So ang kaibahan naman dito kay corn smut, mas madedetect agad natin yung infection nito sa field if meron. Kasi sobrang distinct nung pagka ganito nung corn. So ang tawag po diyan ay galls. So nag-start po siya dun sa dulo ng ating may bunga na mostly ang in-infect po nito ay syempre once na nagbunga na po ang ating corn. So galls, ito yung galls. So makakapansin po tayo ng ganyan. Or boils on above ground tissue. Galls first appear as a glistening white or grayish white swelling. Mostly po makakapag-observe po tayo ng ganito sa umaga o yung pagsikat bago sumikat yung araw at papasikat yung araw. Once kasi na sumikat na po yung araw, medyo magganto na po yung mapapansin natin, medyo blackish or grayish. Pero once na sa umaga po tayo nag-check or nag-monitor ng ating field, mapapansin po natin yung medyo moist, dense, yung swollen part ng ating corn, which is magkakaroon siya, which is mas distinct yung itsura ng galls. Then, interior of galls later become black and powdery, contains numerous sooty masses of spores. So yun ang ingatan po natin once po kasi na itong galls na to, magiging blackish po yan, contain numerous spores po. So kakalat pa siya sa other or mag-i-spread pa po siya sa other corn plant. So yun po yung pwedeng mangyari. So for the management strategies po, let's follow application of balanced fertilizer. So again, we have this regional soils laboratory na maaari po nating kontakin or pwede po tayong mag-submit ng sample to check po if ano na po yung available nutrient ulit sa lupa natin, then kung ano pa po ulit yung dapat lang idagdag. Then avoid injuring corn plants during cultivation. So doon po kasi pwedeng yung injury, magkakos po siya ng point of entry for this kind of pathogen. And also plant resistant varieties po for or against corn smut. So ayun po. So yun that's end my presentation for the common diseases of corn in the Philippines. So thank you so much again for listening for my presentation. I hope you get something from it. And I also thanks for the references of this presentation from the expert of the National Crop Protection Center, for the pictures in the Crop Protection Network.org and for CABI.org. So thank you so much.